Hello everyone, I'm super excited to be making this video for the African community, especially for Nigerians. I feel like it's an absolute honor to make IELTS video for Nigerians and for, of course, for Africans as well. This video is exclusively for beginners because people who have taken the IELTS already know some of the things, of course, obviously, already know some of the things that I'll be answering in this video. But of course, you can always share with your family, your friends. It will be helpful for you. The reason why I'm making this video is because people inbox me, call me, text me, and ask me IELTS questions. And so I just thought that it was going to be helpful to do a video and just answer most of those questions, you know. And so this is what the video is going to be about. So let's get right into it, shall we? As funny as it sounds, people ask, what does IELTS mean? So I'll first of all say that, you know, it's pronounced as IELTS, like I just did, or people say IELTS, which is also fine. But for the sake of this video, I'll be talking, you know, in terms of IELTS. So what does it mean? International English Language Testing System. What does it mean? It's a test to test your English language, just like the word says. Now, I'll say that IELTS is designed to test the language ability of non-native speakers who intend to work or study abroad, or, you know, work or study where English is the language of first choice. So that is what IELTS is for. So it's a test that, you know, a school will require from you or a country will require from you just to test your language ability. How well can you speak, listen, you know, write, read, all that. So why should you take the test? You should take the test if the school requires you to, or PR requires you to, or the country requires you to do so. So that's why you should take the test. Now, of course, you know, there's two types of IELTS. There's the general and there's the academic. Usually the general is for PR, for like the word says, general. But the academic is mostly for school and people in the STEM field. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. People in technical fields, doctors, nurses as well. They would, of course, be asked to take the academic test as well as students. So those are the two IELTS that you have. And so you should take the test if the school or the country or the company requires you to do so. The IELTS has 4 courses: the speaking, the writing, reading, and listening test. And the difference is in the writing test and the reading test. For the writing test, there's tax 1 and tax 2. The tax 2 is literally the same thing, but the tax 1 is technical. That's really the difference. It's more technical. Like sometimes they give you a map, sometimes they give you different kinds of questions, but it's just technical. For the reading test, the text that you're going to read is longer or sometimes more technical as well. So that's the difference. It's just the writing tax 1 and the reading test. For each course, they assess different things in each of them. But you know what I would generally say is, you're trying to move to another country to study or work. They just want to know, can you speak like us, write like us? Can you be like our native speakers? Would we have problems communicating to you, or would you have problems communicating with us? They just really basically want to know that, you know, your English is good enough, just like our native speakers. Can you write? Can you send an email? Can you read the emails that we send to you? At school, would you have problems with the courses? Would you have problems with understanding what the teacher is saying? They just practically want to know if your English is good enough, you can communicate, you understand English, you can read as well. You know, that's basically what they're trying to assess. So they're trying to assess your language ability: reading, speaking, listening, writing. So there are two bodies that is recognized in Nigeria to take the IELTS. The first one is the British Council, and the second one is MOD. For these two bodies, they are recognized all around the world. So you could just go on their website, check everything you need to. They have centers on the mainland, they have centers on the island. So you could just go on their website, check all the information that you would love to know about them. And they're really flexible, and the websites are really simple. I remember that when I was taking the test, I went to MOD, I paid online, sent my my details online, my passport and all the details they needed from me online. I did everything online. I didn't have to move an inch. So they're pretty that simple. So just go to their website, type MOD on Google, type British Council on Google, and their centers are on the mainland, on the island. So it's pretty easy. Depending on the body that you pick to take the test with, it's between 75,000 and 85,000. Like I said, if you just go on their website, you see all these details on their website. Pretty simple. FAQs are there, right there for you to assess. Before I talk about test day, your speaking test, you're supposed to take that a day or 2 days before test day, or in some rare occasions, a day or two after test day. But regularly, it's supposed to be a day or two before test day, and up to 1 week actually before test day. And then on test day, you take your listening test, reading test, and writing test consecutively. It takes up to 2 hours 45 minutes to take 3 of the tests, and that's about what happens on test day. You just come in right on time. They'll give you all the details about coming in on time and everything else, but that is what happens on test day. So basically after test day, you just wait for 14 working days, and then you could go online and check your results. And some days later, you could go get the hard copy from the center. So it's pretty much just simple. Wait 14 working days, and your results will be online for you to check. I hope that you did well. Absolutely. Yes, take tuition. As with every other exam, you need to study before an exam, but I feel like the reason why you should take tuition is because, like for me, when I wanted to take the IELTS, I went online and I was totally overwhelmed with resources, a lot of things that everybody was saying, even the friends around me. So I was overwhelmed, So I feel like tuition streamlines the right resources, the right materials, the right things to look out for and to do for your exams. But of course, like if you could study on your own and you don't particularly need, one-on-one tuition, of course, but I'll say that, also get the right materials, because there are so many resources online, so also make sure that you have the relevant resources for the course. And this is what tuition helps you. I'm not trying to sell tuition because, I've been a tutor or I'm still a tutor. No, I'm just saying you need tuition as with every other exam that you're trying to take. They really do. They can be similar questions, similar structures, of course, but they rarely ever do. Just study and be prepared, and I'm sure you'll do well. The IELTS is not difficult, I know a lot of people who excelled in one sitting. I know that you heard that, a lot of people took the exam twice, 5 times, but you can excel in one sitting. I excelled in one sitting. I know a lot of people who excelled in one sitting as well. So I'll say that the IELTS is simple. You can take it and excel in one sitting. Of course, as with every other exam, nothing just happens. You need to put in the work, put in, with the right resources, the right tuition, taking out time to study. You should be able to excel, but I'll say that it's not difficult at all. Of course, if you fail to prepare, you are definitely prepared to fail. So you need to prepare and put in the work. Read like your life. I always tell my students, read like your life depends on it, because sometimes it depends on it, But you need to read, study hard, put in all the work, and you should excel. improve your vocabulary and your pronunciation. You know, learn new words, know how to pronounce words as well. You know, watch the BBC. This is like the ticket. Watch BBC, you know, for especially during the period of your study and, you know, you taking the exam. Watch BBC, you know, taking new words, taking pronunciations, study. Practice, and, you know, just those two things, pronunciation and improving your vocabulary, would help you a lot. And of course, a lot of practice. So I hope that this video has, you know, answered some of the questions that you've had, especially up to 70% of them. I'm here to help the African community, especially Nigerians, because I'm a Nigerian, and that's why I'm doing this video. And I hope that this video was helpful for you. So if you liked this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed listening to everything and, you know, it was helpful for you, like, share, send it to someone who has been asking you a lot of IELTS questions, you know, and I hope that, you know, everything, you take the exam, you knock it out. Don't let this test beat you, beat the test, okay? Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.